Hey there, scrappy friends. Suzanne here in the studio today to show you how you can stretch close to my heart's Boo Crew workshop if you're not interested in the treat containers they show you how to make. Let me flip back and show you those. I live in a rural area, so as cute as these are, I don't really have people coming to my house for trick or treat, so I decided to forego those and see what I could do with the extra paper. Okay, before we get to that, let me show you the actual layouts that were included in this workshop. These are super cute. It's a really fun color combination. Here's the first one. Isn't that adorable? I love the 12-inch banner here and the 11-inch banners here. Very, very fun. That one I did pretty much as it is described. Here's the second one. This was a really fun technique where we scored paper and then distressed it with a sanding block. I like that a lot. The only thing I did different here is I did add some extra candies. They had candy on one page and not on the other, so I added the extra candy stickers over there. Otherwise, that's pretty much as described. It's cute. Here's the last one. This one I did do a little differently. This is really super cute. Again, we've got that distressing technique that I like so much. Here, they had used the skull and crossbones stickers down here and some other small ones. And even in the workshop that they did on Facebook Live, I don't know, a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, they said that they had used quite a few of the stickers, so there wasn't much left. Since I knew I wanted to get another layout, I decided to just put double toil and trouble here on a little bit of the star paper so that I could save the skull and crossbones for a separate layout. Okay, let me show you how you need to alter your cutting instructions in order to be able to get the extra layout. Okay, looking at this first page here, on the first diagram, you will end up with a 1x12 sheet strip here. Set that aside. On the second one, you won't be cutting these two 4x6s. So you will actually end up with a 4 1/4 by 12. So you need to cut that into a 1x12 and a 3 1/4 by 12. And we will be using both of those. The 3 1/4 by 12 you can cut in half into two 6-inch pieces. Okay? Moving along, here on this Boo paper, again, you will end up with an extra 4x12 that you can use. Actually, it'll be 4 1/4 by 12. So you'll need to trim it down the quarter, so it's 4x12. And then on this page over here, you will also end up with a full 4x12. Okay? When we get down to the star paper with all the little boxed words on it, here again, instead of cutting the 4x6 and then using this extra piece, cut this middle piece to 4 1/4, and then you'll have an extra 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 you can use for a layout, for the extra layout, and you'll still have plenty of room to get your other hand-trimmed words. Okay, moving to the wild berry cardstock, you are going to end up with an extra 1x12. On the second piece of wild berry, you are also going to end up with a 1x12. On the nectarine cardstock, you're going to end up with a 2 3/4 by 12, and I want you to cut that into a 1 1/4 by 12 for the extra layout. When we get down here to this, it has you doing a 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. Go ahead and cut this as 6 1/2 inches wide. Then you can trim it down for this, but because it's 6 1/2, you'll be able to get both of these pieces of 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 out of the same half sheet, and that is going to leave you with a 5 1/2 by 12 of your ballerina cardstock. There are no changes to this. And then here on this piece of black cardstock, you're going to end up with a 4 3/4 by 12. As far as extra cardstock needed for this layout, I used an extra piece of black for one of my base pages. And on the other, I used white, but you could use any ugly paper because you're going to end up covering up the entire sheet with strips that we already have of other colors. Okay, let's get to that. Okay, let me show you the layout that I did. Let's start with the left-hand side. Here we have it. I've used black as the base of this layout, and then I've added my wild berry strip, my pink ballerina boo, and then I've added the 1-inch strip of the spiders. Isn't that cute? Then this is a 6.5 by 4.5 inch mat of ballerina. On top of that is a 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 out of the star paper that was left over. And then just a regular 4 by 6 photo placeholder. Down here is one of those 6-inch strips that I told you about. I deckled the edge just to make it a little more interesting. And then I put a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 ballerina photo mat here. And then I've used the Eat, Drink, and Be Scary sticker, along with the boo sticker and a ghost, and then a couple of the pumpkin stickers I still had left. And then I actually stamped and die cut the wild berry pumpkin. Also, since I had the stamp set out, I noticed we had not used the candy corn. So I did a quick 3 pieces of candy corn and colored those in with markers. I also scattered 3 of the bats. I believe 2 of these were stamped, and I believe the pink one was still a sticker. And of course, I've got a little ghost sequin. Where's the other page? On the right-hand side, this is where I've wallpapered it. So I started out with the black, then on the 1 1/4, is that right? Yes. Yeah, the 1 1/4 nectarine, I went ahead and stamped some bats, and I just did 5 or 6 of them down the page. And as you can see, I offset some, so there was one here, there was actually one here, and then they kind of go like this. So as you can see, I've covered up quite a few of them. But I think that adds just a little something to it. Here's our 1-inch spiders. Here's our ballerina boo paper, and then here is our 1 inch of wild berry. And as you can see, I've done a dot and dash treatment on the wild berry on both sides. Stickers here, I have the skull and crossbones because, as I said, I traded that out on another layout. If you've got it, flaunt it. I went ahead and put that on a piece of pink ballerina cardstock just to give it a little more pop. I pulled out these 3 bats. This is a sticker. These are both stickers, so I've got 3 bats going that way. Down here, I have a spider, and the Hocus Pocus was actually white. It was a sticker also, and for it, I colored it using a marker, and I came pretty close to matching the wild berry. I'll leave notes on the colors I used in the blog post for this video. I also did eek and used a little sequin there, a little ghost sequin. So if you put the 2 pages together, this is what it looks like. As you can see, I've got my wild berry pop here and here and here. So that makes a nice visual triangle. We've got bats across the top on both pages, and then each has a cluster too, sort of down here. On this, you can see this piece looks longer than the 6 inches that it was. That's because I cut it in the middle and split it apart. You could take this as far over as you wanted it. I just wanted to go a little bit further, and then I still had a little bit more of that star paper that I could use as just a little accent there. And then of course I've got journaling strips here, and I decal edged those too. So that used absolutely all of the stickers off of these sticker sheets. So I was happy about that, and I had very little paper left. In fact, I only had really enough, the only decent sized piece I had, I used to make this card. Piece of wild berry, piece of black. This is actually split. Both of these are split so they don't go all the way because I didn't have big enough pieces to go the whole front of the slimline card. And then I had stamped an extra hat and an extra broom. So I put those on there, and then the words I had, some of the words I had left over were scary thrills. And then I've added some wild berry dots and one little ghost. And inside it says, "Have a hauntingly happy Halloween." Okay, that is all I have today. I hope you'll consider thinking about ways in which you can stretch your workshops just by changing a little bit of the cutting and sometimes substituting paper. If you went ahead and used some of your paper to make those cute treat boxes, you might consider looking at some of the papers in the September mix-in. For example, this is the nectarine also, and you may be able to switch out some mix-in papers for some of the patterns to see if that's going to work out for you. Okay, so that's all I had for today. I wanted to thank you for stopping by and watching. I sure would like it if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel. That way you can keep up on every time I try to get a little more out of every workshop that Close to My Heart puts out. Alrighty, thanks so much. See you soon. Bye.